Romance of the Three Kingdoms. 8 questions. A record of survival, not a hero's epic. Romance of the Three Kingdoms is widely known as a saga of heroes. However, the true protagonist of this colossal story is not the heroes, but the bare face of humanity standing before the storm of a turbulent age. Countless generals and strategists appear to command the world, but what this narrative pursues until the end is not the record of victory, but the nature hidden behind their choices. The story begins with a crumbling empire. The opening sentence, "The empire, long divided, must unite, long united, must divide," does not merely speak of historical repetition. It foreshadows how the order of our organizations, relationships, and hearts collapses and is rebuilt. Even the sharpest strategy is sometimes nothing more than a trick, and even the most powerful authority vanishes in vain before the flow of time. This narrative does not force us to take a side. Instead, it asks how you will stand before the many traps that humans easily fall into. Chapter 1. Peach Garden Oath? Is the promise still valid after success? The romance of the Three Kingdoms begins not in a palace, but before a rustic wine table under the peach trees. 3 men, an impoverished royal, a fugitive, and a merchant, had no wealth or influence to guarantee their future. All they shared was a simple vow. Though we were born on different days, we seek to die on the same day. This was not a contract to share profits, but a bond formed by looking solely at each other's vision during their most wretched days. People often rely on each other when they have nothing, but once power grows, envy and jealousy fill that space. However, the 3 men of the Peach Garden Oath were different. Even when defeated and scattered, they did not doubt or slander one another. They did not stay together because they succeeded. They succeeded because they stayed together. Chapter 2. Lu Bu's Betrayal. A life abandoned for immediate gain, Lu Bu possessed unrivaled strength. Yet he is the least respected figure. Because he lacked the center to sustain himself, he was easily swayed by brilliant rewards, murdering his foster fathers to move toward whoever promised greater power. To him, the only thing that mattered was the vanity and profit he could enjoy right now. Lu Bu's tragedy was not a lack of ability, but a lack of a vessel to hold that ability. Competence without a center eventually becomes a weapon that destroys oneself. Chapter 3. Cao Cao's decree: is immoral talent a tool or a weapon? Cao Cao made a radical declaration he would appoint anyone based solely on ability, regardless of their past immorality. This pushed morality behind efficiency and grew the Wei Kingdom, the fastest and strongest. However, instead of trust, only cold interests remained. People gathered only to sell their abilities at a high price. The empire he built collapsed after his death, usurped by the most capable subordinate within that very system. Ability without morality may be a tool to defeat opponents, but in the end, it becomes a weapon aimed at oneself. Chapter 4. Zhao Zilong at Changpan. What keeps you silent when all doubt you? Amidst the chaos of a turbulent age, Zhao Zilong never envied others and silently kept his place. At the Battle of Changpan, while everyone fled, he alone turned his horse back toward the enemy lines to save his lord's son. Others slandered him, claiming he was defecting, but he did not make excuses. He had no desire for heroism to show off. He focused only on his natural responsibility. What is more formidable than brilliant tactics is the honest step of someone who silently carries out their duty no matter the situation. Chapter 5. Guan Yu's Pride. Does your brilliance serve others or slay you? Guan Yu was a godlike warrior of unparalleled loyalty and strength. Yet, his downfall was not due to a lack of skill, but his own overwhelming pride. He looked down on his allies. His arrogance blinded him to the traps laid by his enemies, eventually leading him to a tragic end at Fan Castle. It reminds us, is the brilliance you possess a light that guides others, or a blade that will eventually turn against you? Chapter 6. Zhuge Liang's Tears. Noble wisdom or ruthless ploy. Zhuge Liang is the symbol of miraculous wisdom, deciding victories from 1,000 miles away. However, behind his brilliant military tactics lie cold calculations and ruthless choices that require deceiving others. He never used his extraordinary talent for personal gain, sacrificing his life for a crumbling empire and a sacred promise. Yet behind the veil of his victories lay a deep solitude and crimson tears. His life poses a haunting question. Is supreme wisdom a gift of salvation, or a lonely sentence of eternal coldness? Chapter 7. The Tragedy of the Successors. Why does greatness often fail to last? The giants of the era passed away, leaving behind the burden of their legacies. The tragedy of the second generation was that they inherited the glory without understanding the struggle that built it. When leadership loses its core values and becomes a mere struggle for survival, even the strongest empire begins to rot from within. True legacy is not about passing down power, but about passing down the spirit that earned that power. Chapter 8. Sima Yi's Patience. The one who outlasts the heroes. The final victor of the three kingdoms was not the most brilliant, but the most persistent. Sima Yi demonstrated that casting aside pride to crawl in the dirt could be a form of ruthless pragmatism. For him, patience was not submission. It was a calculated strategy to disarm his opponents. His life mirrors the modern struggle of enduring a harsh today for a secure tomorrow. But it also asks, does the pinnacle reached by outlasting every rival truly fulfill your existence? As the final chapter of the romance of the three kingdoms closes, we realize that the outcome of victory or defeat is not what matters most. Empires fall and names are forgotten, but the questions raised by their choices remain. This record of survival is a mirror reflecting our own lives. May your own journey be defined not just by how you survived, but by the values you chose to keep along the way.